Alright, good day to you. It's been a while since I streamed again. I mean, Euros. Obviously, I'm gonna watch football. And works on my rooftops are still ongoing, therefore I cannot really stream that much as I would like to. We still have content, fortunately, for the YouTube channel. We're gonna take a weekly review of the YouTube channel. And we're gonna do the classic intro. Then we're gonna read some articles. We have, oh fuck, I forgot to, well, I'm gonna do that on the end. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 21 articles. Then we got 2, 4, 6, 7 Twitter Bizarre. And then we got 2, 4, 5 gaming news articles. So we have a lot to go to. I have about 4.5 hours to finish this. Afterwards, I want to watch football. I'm gonna miss out on the Turkey versus Georgia, but somehow I'm gonna make it too. However, I wanna watch Portugal, obviously. Quite excited about that. I'm not sure if tomorrow there will be another matches. Not quite sure if they don't have like 1 day of free time. Maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. Without further ado though, let us go for the classic intro. Here we have a YouTube channel. You know it. Unfortunately, we are still not getting subscribers, though we are getting views. We have 63 videos up, a big uptake. We are, our homepage is looking much more lively, yeah. Much better. We have pretty much every, well, except of tech news. We don't have that full, but elsewhere, otherwise we are full. It looks very nice, and hopefully some people will actually start subscribing. As I said before, I'm gonna be doing this for a little bit longer, sometime longer. If there's no attention, no new subs and all, I'm obviously not gonna keep doing this. I also have a life I have to live. Therefore, I would start my preparations for I'm already preparing physically for the police academy, if I manage to get into the academy. My physique is decent, I say. I mean, it's definitely decent considering I was lying in bed quite twitchy for about 7 or 8 months. I have not had much movement. It is unfortunate, but it is what it is. We have to continue. And if this gets an attention, I will definitely dedicate myself to it. I will probably won't be making any edited videos, because that would take too much time. And I simply do not wish to hire an editor or anything like that. Even if I would by any miracle reach 1 million, I will always edit my videos by myself, and I always do everything by myself. I don't want to hire any other people. I want you to have the experience that I envisioned, which is not very much exciting, but hey. We are talking news, politics. This is not supposed to be any Mr. Beast video, therefore I hope you're still gonna enjoy, and maybe you'll learn something new. These videos also are there to help you get a bit builder vision of the world, for you to actually, be interested in reading, because I know young people do not read much these days and the attention span is pretty low. So hopefully somebody will take this opportunity to start reading himself or watch my videos where I read. And it's definitely even beneficial for me, because I was not talking much before that. Since COVID, I was not talking much at all. It definitely hurt me, so these live streams are also helping me quite a bit to gain confidence in speaking. And also to help my talking English, if that makes any sense. Because when it comes to writing, my English is pretty damn solid, pretty damn good. However, when it comes to speaking, yeah, I do not have many friends that speak English, and most of them are already in work. Therefore, yeah, I do not have much. I don't have many opportunities to actually better myself, and I simply do not want to buy a course because that's for pussies. Come on, we are learning a language by our own experiences. So yeah, YouTube channel. We got a VOD channel. Again, not many was published. Somebody watched this and somebody actually subscribed. Otherwise, nothing really changed there. Still the same. Again, I do not expect much views on these channels or any views at all, but whatever. Now we're gonna go for our main ketchup. There we go. So yeah, let's start up right away. So I'm gonna show you. Fail time, we got. It's doing quite good, okay. We got quite a bit of views, and they still keep going in. And actually, some even older videos are doing some older videos are getting views in once a while, which is good. I'm glad that people even watch some of the older stuff. This is a good sign, and hopefully this trend keeps going, and hopefully we actually get some subscribers. Otherwise, I'm gonna be very depressed. But I digress. So yeah, you can you can probably already see what is the top content at the moment. Obviously, these. So as you can see, we still have some more videos to go to. Yes, more these. This will probably get 100 views. I'm gonna have to make a pinned comment, however, for it to just to clarify that I do not bullet the ladies that actually do the a bit provocative type of content. It is content and you have to make a ring somehow. And honestly, I mean, if it makes you a ring, it's better to be a garbage truck driver or to spend your entire life in an office, which is boring and dull as fuck. But yeah, it would make you a lot of money. However, it would also take away your soul. So yeah, today we released Mortal Kombat Italia. Hopefully it's gonna get some views. I hope this title will, invite some people. Right now its reach is 3 impressions, so YouTube is not recommended it at all, which is unfortunate, but hey. Scientists study a new H1N1 variant. This will not get any views, I know. However, I want to have it there. Especially if we actually grow that, then I know some people will watch this, because again, this is more health-based health video, and I'm sure some people will eventually watch it. Again, YouTube is not recommending it at all. Shame, but whatever. European Union would like to learn more about porno industry. Oh yes. Yeah, this is doing very good. I knew this was a great thumbnail. It had a magnificent start, then it slowed up and it seems to have died out. The impressions click-through rate is amazing, like 11.9% click-through rate. That is banger. That is an absolute banger. And people say YouTube mute those types of videos which had, words like porno in it. So yeah, this is doing pretty well. Engagement-wise, the view-wise, not very good. It's actually one of the worst. Unfortunate. I would like people to actually watch it because it has some, good references to some other, erotic material. And I'm also referencing some of the more shady guys that actually operated in the porno industry and they were exposed and persecuted. View-wise, unfortunately, nobody watched it all, which is unfortunate. I think this would definitely get a good amount of likes, probably, if people watched it all. It is what it is. Next up, we got apparently you eat meat because you're a very masculine man. Oh yes, it's doing okay. 10 views, nothing bad, not bad. It gets freed by the algorithm once in a while. 1.5% impressions click-through rate. I wish it would be higher. However, 1.5%. This would probably go 1 to 1.2, 1.1% if it actually blew up. Still pretty good. I'm happy enough. And somebody actually watched it all. That's very nice. That's actually very nice. Somebody watched it all. That's very good. I like it. The average view duration, as you can see, one person watched it all and look what it does. So I'm very happy. Somebody watched it all. Unfortunately, he or she didn't like it, enough to give it a like, but hey, still good enough for me. We got Twitter is completely unhinged against refugees in the EU. I thought I was thinking of giving it the title Black Man, however, I thought that would be a bit of discriminatory, because I know like black men are the only, black men are not the only refugees that are coming into Europe, so it's sad. I mean, it would be good bait title, however, I just did not want it to do it, because it was sort of serious. It is Twitter bizarre still, so again, bizarre. It's in the YouTube prison, so no impressions. Click-through rate is 14.3%. There are only 2 views, so nobody gives a shit. But yeah, hopefully this actually gets released. I would love it to be released, because I actually made a playlist for Twitter Bizarre. I'm actually gonna show you. There you go. Video. I'm gonna let's see. Is it in the video? Yes, it is. Perfect. Yeah, I even have playlists, obviously, as any good YouTuber should have. So you can find your topic. So you can find topics you are most interested in more easier. We have Republicans contest the election results yet again. Dead. It actually got released from the YouTube prison. 0.8% click-through rate dead. People do not care. Very unfortunate. We got Neuralink plans brain implants to 3 new subjects. This doesn't have many views, but it got some views recently. Yeah, it got like 2 days. It got like some views recently. So it might actually be getting some views. That's 2.9% click-through rate, so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's not a very good video, however, it's a cool little video. And what failed, and I'm not surprised at all, the world is about to reach a 100 trillion debt USD in USD. Obviously, people are not interested, although it's actually in the YouTube prison, therefore we do not know if people are not interested. Although I do think some people would click because of this very little, thumbnail. Sony FPS games crisis. Should they bring back classics like Killzone and Resistance franchise? This is doing very good. This is a banger in terms of the likes versus dislikes. 100% likes. Somebody actually commented. It has 32 views, which made not sound a lot compared to the, the 900 views video. However, it's still growing. Even now for days, it's still getting views in a good pace. It actually got 4 views just in the last 2 hours. That's pretty good. The impressions was 1.4k impressions. Click-through rate is 1.9%. Very good. It's almost ideal for me. The ideal percentage is 2.1%. Everything above is a banger for me. Engagement wise, 1 minute 46 seconds. It is a long video, therefore, yeah, like, still not many people are watching it, or however somebody watched it, or a good portion, so I appreciate it. I think it was the person that actually commented on it. And yeah, this shows definitely that when people actually watch your videos, they are very likely to comment their own insights. And yeah, I'm very happy though with how it's going, and I hope it's still, I hope the video still keeps going strong and actually gets some views. Engagement wise, yeah, like, yeah, only one human, only one person actually watched it all. Though somebody watched, at least 2 people actually watched to the 8 minute. So, hey. Oh, thank you for kind comments. So yeah, this is doing pretty well. I'm very happy with this. What actually got a banger status was this. Imagine killing your lifelong friend you knew for over 30 plus years, or when an argument. This is about I forgot her name, I believe it was an aunt to the former US politician Tulsi Gabbard. It got a lot of views in the first 2 days, however, it's still gaining some views here and then, therefore I'm happy. Engagement wise, it's 5.3% click to rate. Yes, this is a banger. That is a very good click to rate ratio. It is, and as you could see, it's still getting views, so maybe we'll reach even 100 and plus. Watch time, 30 seconds, yeah. It's a very short video, so... Oh. Oh, okay. Give me a moment, I'm gonna... I'm not quite sure why it timed you out, so sorry about that. I'm gonna have to fix it, but whatever. Whatever. You're gonna be up in a short while, sorry about that. I mean, I have anti-spam protection in place. However, this is way too strict. Like, I know I said you have to. I set it up that you'll get timed out if you spam like 20 plus emotes in one comment. So this is a bit of strange. I'm gonna take a look afterwards. But whatever. It's whatever. Doubts about Biden's help keep piling. That is okay, but still not weak. I'm not quite sure if I actually did this. I probably did this recap the last stream, although I forgot about it. It doesn't matter, we have time. So this is no views on the climate change study. I think it is still in the prison or nobody. Yeah, it's in the prison. Putin wears a body armor, also that. How does an introvert person handle a car crash? This is actually getting views once a while, therefore it might actually get somewhere. It only got 8 impressions, however some people click on it, so maybe, just maybe it's gonna get somewhere. Average view duration, 1 minute. Again, it's only for to film 2 people, so there's not that big of a value there. And these are the odds. So yeah, YouTube channel doing okay. Unfortunately, yes, this little number here is not doing very well. It was doing very well when we actually started. It was going up very nicely. Unfortunately, since June 4, that's about 13 days, no new subs. Yikes. So, hopefully it gets fixed. So, now we're gonna go on our new segment finally. We got German investigator sees cocaine worth 2.6 billion euros, calling it the biggest find ever. Oh yes. And you know exactly what sort of thumbnail I'm gonna put on my video. It's anytime. So let's find Sky News. Could be. I'm just gonna check if the okay, you can see it clearly, and I'm gonna actually now do this. There you go. There you go. I'm just gonna make sure it. Yes, perfect. Okay, the chat is transparent, so you'll be actually able to see the entire article without it being cut off. So hopefully this will be good for the YouTube audience. Then we got Germany seizes 35.5 tons of cocaine in largest bust of the Class A drug in Europe. German police seized 2.19 billion pounds worth of cocaine from Hamburg, Rotterdam, and Colombia, with 7 people from a range of countries arrested in recent weeks over the alleged importing of the drug from Latin America to Europe in 2023. By Claire Gilbody Dickerson, news reporter. German investigators have confiscated 35.5 tons of cocaine in what authorities say is the biggest bust of the Class A drug Europe has ever seen. Prosecutors in the western city of Düsseldorf said they confiscated the cocaine, which they value at 2.6 billion euros, last year after receiving a tip from Colombian authorities. A total of 25 tons of cocaine was found in the port of the northern city of Hamburg. As a part of Operation Plexus, another 8 in the Dutch port of Rotterdam, and almost 3 in Colombia, the drugs were hidden among vegetables and fruits, prosecutors said. 7 people aged between 30 and 54 years old were arrested in recent weeks following and include a German, Azerbaijani, Bulgarian, Moroccan, Turkish and Ukrainian nationals. Their identities have not been disclosed in line with German privacy law. Read more. Wait, this is it? Okay, there's a tiny bit more. They are accused of importing the large amounts of cocaine from Latin America to Europe between April and September 2023. The defendants are believed to have had yet unknown accomplices allegedly in Turkey. Dr. Benjamin Rimbach, Minister for Justice in North Rhine-Westphalia, praised authorities for having pulled off a coup there, as he hailed the teamwork which resulted in the largest cocaine find on the European soil to virtually go up in the flames. He added, "This is a blow to international organized crime. It is a precise punch in the jaw that will hurt the drug lords." Public prosecutor Julius Sterzel said the suspects allegedly transported cocaine in containers and hid it between crates of fruit and other legal goods. Yes, they usually hid it between the legal stuff. And it usually works out unless people get echoed. They get some, tips. Some, spicy tips. some snitching so they can actually find it. Otherwise, yeah, that's how they usually transport the DX. Or they have even some other creative ways to transport them. However, you can Google it yourself. He said assets were also seized, including 5 gold bars worth around 23,000 euros, a Porsche 911 Turbo worth around 250,000 euros, and a various luxury items. Related topics: Germany DAX. Very short article. I'm very disappointed. Oh well, what can we do? So we got a massive cocaine bust. They definitely made Arnie proud. I hope somebody made the famous quote by Arnie. I'll see myself out, and we move on. Very short article indeed. North Korea says Russian President Putin will arrive in the north on Tuesday. Oh yes, if you didn't heard, Russia and North Korea are definitely increasing the trade between each other due to the sanctions on Russia. North Korea supplies Russia with various military stuff, from ammunition to probably even some of their own equipment, like maybe some IFVs, maybe potentially, tanks, who knows what they give them. And probably artillery as well. So this is only another media. This is another media stunt to show the world that these two powers are very close to each other. Vladimir Putin will visit North Korea for a 2-day visit starting Tuesday, deepening alignment with Kim Jong-un amid concerns about military cooperation. Okay, let's read the French. Le Parisien. Yes, I want to translate it. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna try reading the headliner. Vladimir Poutine remercia la Corée du Nord pour son ferme soutien à la Russie and Ukraine. I butchered it probably, but whatever. So yeah, Vladimir Putin thanks North Korea for its strong support for Russia in Ukraine. The Russian president is due to make an exceptional state visit to Pyongyang this Tuesday and Wednesday, according to a diplomatic advisor to Putin. Important, very significant documents should be signed. There you have these two. In September 2023, Vladimir Putin welcomed Kim Jong-un to the Russian Far East. So yeah, he was in Vladivostok. Probably. A few hours before his arrival in Pyongyang for an exceptional visit, Vladimir Putin welcomed the firm support provided by North Korea to the military operation in Ukraine. The Russian president is due to make a state visit to North Korea on Tuesday and Wednesday, after which a strategic partnership could be signed between these two countries, whose alliance the West perceives as a threat. I mean, it's still North Korea, Besides, the artillery shells, like the equipment, it's not really that top tier, to be completely honest. I heard that new tank is decent. I heard it's actually decent, which makes sense, because North Korea makes a living from stealing crypto and other illegal stuff, and they use it to fund their military. So not surprised there. And of course, they send some of their youth to actually study in China so they can learn to program, and then they import them back in the North Korea to steal, from others, crypto and stuff. Huge banners warmly welcome President Putin, and depicting his smiling face were hung from lampposts in Pyongyang. Alongside Russian flags, images broadcast by Russian state media showed Moscow and Pyongyang have been allies since the end of the Korean War 1950-1953, but have grown closer since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022. Russia supported North Korea and its heroic people in their struggle to defend their right to choose path of independence, originality and developments for themselves in the confrontation with the cunning enemy, dangerous and aggressive, and it will unwaveringly support them in the future, wrote Vladimir Putin in an article published by the official North Korean daily Rodong Sinmun and the KCNA agency. He said Pyongyang strongly supports the military offensive in Ukraine and thanked for it. A threat to the West. Americans and Europeans have been worried for months about the accelerated rapprochement between Moscow and Pyongyang. They accuse the North Koreans of massively delivering munitions to Russia for its assault on Ukraine in exchange, according to Washington and Seoul, for technological, diplomatic, and food assistance. Accusations that Kim Jong-un's sister denied in May, calling them absurd. This visit shows the extent to which President Putin and Moscow are now dependent on authoritarian countries around the world. Their closest friends and biggest supporters of the Russian war effort, the war of aggression, are North Korea, Iran, and China. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg commented on Monday from Washington, stressing that Russia, a permanent member of the UN Security Council, is now violating the sanctions imposed on North Korea. Well, I mean, to be fair, you sanctioned them as well, so you sanctioned the Russians. Obviously, they're gonna go around back. Like, this is so fucking funny that they actually think, alright, we sanction you, and they, like, you cannot do anything, and the Russians just start dealing with other people, and it's like, no, you can't do that, that's illegal. How dare you go around our sanctions? How dare you not, starve to death and die? Very funny. This visit shows the extent to which President Putin and Moscow are now dependent on authoritarian countries around the world. Their closest friends are biggest supporters of the Russian war effort. The war of aggression are North Korea, Iran, and China. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg commented on Monday from Washington, stressing that Russia okay, I've read that, sorry about that. What concerns us is the deepening relationship between these two countries, not only because of the impact it will have on the Ukrainian people, because we know that North Korean ballistic missiles are still used to strike Ukrainian targets, but also because there could be potentially some reciprocity that could affect the security of the Korean peninsula, said White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby. Indeed, they were probably gonna get also some uranium and all that good stuff for nukes. Of course, unless they are already getting it, which is also possible. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba urged the international community to counter this viral friendship between Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un by increasing arms deliveries to Kiev. They do not have much left of arms in the reserves, so yeah, that's a problem from the EU side. They just do not produce enough, and it's a problem. And obviously they cannot really do much about it as well, since explain it to people. Yeah, that's the best word. Explain it to people that they need to spend more money on defense. But yeah, I mean, yeah, very tough times. Incidents on the inter-Korean border. This trip to North Korea takes place 9 months after Vladimir Putin welcomed Kim Jong-un to the Russian Far East, during which the two men showered each other with praise, but without concluding, officially agrees. Okay, sorry about that. Hours before Vladimir Putin's scheduled arrival in Pyongyang, incidents broke out on the inter-Korean border. According to the South Korean General Staff, several dozen of North Korean soldiers crossed the military demarcation line before retreating under warnings far from south. This is the second such incursion in less than 2 weeks. Yes, I actually read about it. I'm gonna take a sip of water before. Give me a moment. Much better. So yeah, I read about it. I also heard that some of the North Korean soldiers, like 1 or 2, actually died there. They stepped on a mine or something. I'm not quite sure about that. And yeah, there's definitely been an kind of escalation going on the border, which is not a good thing for the world peace, that's for sure. Because that could definitely spiral out of control. Especially, I mean, if the war actually between North and South was renewed, then yeah, we could probably be in the World War III. South Korea said Thursday it was closely monitoring preparations for Vladimir Putin's visit, so has provided significant military aid to Ukraine, where South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol visited last month and is taking part in Western sanctions against Russia. This is only the second visit to North Korea by the Russian leader, who was visited nearly a quarter of a century ago, shortly after he came to power to meet with the father of Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il. And this is it, okay. This is logical. This is a logical result of the sanctions that the Russians will get more and more friendly with the other authoritarian countries like North Korea and China, as well as Iran, obviously, and develop some sort of a economic cooperation alliance and military cooperation as well. Because all of these countries have one thing in common: they have some sort of enemy they want to destroy, or they have some sort of goal they want to achieve. Iran want to wipe out the Jewish state of Israel, obviously. The Russians want to block the NATO expansionism. They have not been doing a very good job since Sweden and Finland joined, but they want to take down Ukraine or secure it as a puppet state or demilitarized state, which is another word for puppet state. And the Chinese obviously want Taiwan, and North Korea probably would like to, how to say, they would probably love to reunite with their southern neighbors one way or another. Although they would definitely like to reunite with them under the banner of communism. So yeah, I mean, this is very logical, what is happening right now, and we'll only see how the West is going to counter it. Because, I mean, Iran and North Korea are going to build nukes eventually. Iran is probably building already nukes. China is expanding their nuclear arsenal. And Russia probably is also expanding the nuclear arsenal. They know they would not beat NATO on the attrition warfare. They know that. Therefore, they have their plan B. If they cannot make a blitzkrieg, then they will use the nuclear weapons. Or maybe the US will use them first. Who knows? Like, if we ever get to World War III, like, it's going to be only a matter of time before somebody actually pulls the trigger. And we do not want to dream what could happen afterwards, because it's going to be only a tragedy. So moving on, we got a German police shoot man with an axe and incendiary device ahead of Euro 2024 game. This is an older article, 3 days ago. It's going to be probably like 10 or 12 days ago when I'm going to release it, if I'm going to release it. Let's choose. Sure, Channel News Asia. Okay. German police fire shots at ex-wielding man at Hamburg following a football fan parade. Frankfurt. Yes. German police shot at a man who threatened officers with a pickaxe and incendiary device on the sidelines of a Euro 2024 football fan parade in central Hamburg on Sunday, June 16, according to a football spokesperson. The attacker was injured in the leg and was receiving medical care, but his condition is not life-threatening, the spokesperson said. He apparently tried to set fire to this Molotov cocktail and then approached several people, including police officers, and the police officers then had to make use of their firearms, said the Hamburg police spokesperson Sandra Revgruen. Okay, I read about a different incident or a different tragedy, if you will, when somebody went full psycho and stabbed a lot of people and murdered actually, I think 1 or 2 in some, backyard party. So this is not the article that I thought we would be reading, but whatever. This is also, there's a increased tension in the Germans. Obviously the Euros, everybody is stressed out, especially the police is very stressed out because they have to make sure that nothing bad happens, since we will have one article about ISIS later on, and you'll probably understand why, but however, the terrorist organizations are still among us, and the police has to make perfectly sure that they will not harm civilians. Because, if they didn't, this would be a major tragedy. And I do not want to think about the aftermath. We assume that this is an isolated case. Oh, this is an Reuters article. Oh, of course, this is an Reuters article. Therefore, it will be short as fuck. We assume that this is an isolated case that is disconnected from football. I don't see any threat at all or any impact on the game today, Rev Grant said. The incident occurred in the St. Pauli district of the city ahead of the Poland and Netherlands game. Afternoon match at Hamburg's Volkspark Stadion, which began on schedule. Fan marches have been scheduled ahead of Euro 2024 games, and the parade for the Dutch supporters was being held at around the time of the incident. Fans were directed away from the area by police towards the stadium. Germany is hosting the month-long tournament that began on Friday night. Indeed. Euros are ongoing. So far, they are a great banger. I'm very happy. I'm very pleased with how the games were going. The only game that was somewhat boring was England, but again, that's England. England is always boring, especially with their coach, Southgate. They are a very boring team to watch. And some people actually think they're gonna win this tournament. No. It's not coming home. The only thing that's coming home with you will be the fines you get from the police. You rude monkeys. I've read also a lot of articles about England fans and even other fans being very stupid, very rude, but we don't have any such articles here. I might find some for the next stream, whenever that might be. But very short article. It's a Reuters article, very small. That's what she said. Moving on. Israel military announces tactical pause in attempt to increase flow of aid into hard-hit Gaza. Yes, I read about it. I actually read about that. I believe it was today or yesterday. I actually read about them stepping into the demarcation line and blowing up. I'm not sure if it's true or not. I think the North Korean media actually said they died. Therefore, I do press a bit, bit of an X whether they actually died by stepping on mine or they died by some other cause. However, yeah, I did read something about it. I'm not quite sure if it's true or not. I wouldn't be surprised because that demarcation line is probably mined to hell. It's been 70 plus years now since the war paused, so hey, anything could happen. Israel military announces tactical pause in attempt to increase flow of aid into hard-hit Gaza. We're gonna read that. I think we have one more article about the war coming up soon. Then we'll be clear. Military.com, sure. Israel's army says it will pause daytime fighting along a route in southern Gaza to help ramp up aid. Yes, the people in Rafah are definitely hit quite a bit now. There's a lot of refugees in that city, and the conditions there are very terrible. Jerusalem, AP. Israel's military announced on Sunday that it would pause fighting throughout daytime hours along a route in southern Gaza to free up a backlog of humanitarian aid deliveries destined for desperate Palestinians enduring a humanitarian crisis sparked by the war, now in its 9th month. The tactical pause announced by the military, which applies to about 12 kilometers of road in the Rafah area, falls far short of a complete ceasefire in the beleaguered territory that has been sought by the international community, including Israel's top ally, the United States. If it holds, the limited halt in fighting could help address some of the overwhelming needs of Palestinians that had surged even more in recent weeks with Israel's incursion into Rafah. The army said the pause would begin at 8 a.m., not 500 GMT, and remains in effect until 7 p.m. 1600 GMT. So it said the pauses would take place every day until further notice. Okay. Do I want to watch this? We'll watch it maybe afterwards. The pause is aimed at allowing aid trucks to reach the nearby Israel-controlled Kerem Shalom crossing, the main entry point for incoming aid, and travel safety to the Salah ad-Din highway, a main north-south road. The military said the crossing has suffered from bottlenecks since Israeli ground troops moved into Rafah in early May. The COGAT, or COGAT, the Israeli military body that oversees aid distribution in Gaza, said the route would increase the flow of aid to other parts of Gaza, including Khan Yunis, Muwasi, and central Gaza. Hard-hit northern Gaza, which was an early target in the war, is being served by goods entering from crossing in the north. The military said the pause Sunday, which begins as Muslims in Gaza and elsewhere start marking the major Eid al-Adha holiday. I do not know what that is. Came after discussions with the United Nations and international aid agencies. Following criticism over the move from ultra-nationalists in Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government, who oppose a halt in the war, the military said fighting is not being paused for the rest of southern Gaza and is neither there any change regarding the entry of aid in general. Yes, the far-righters, the ultranationalists are pushing for more war with the rest of the parties are pretty much opposed, and the Netanyahu has to go on there. And then Netanyahu has to, do what they say. Otherwise, they would probably break apart his government. That's how big of an influence they have, even though they are not really that big of a party. It's very sad for the Israel. It's a very sad situation, really. The military said the poll Sunday, which, yes, it says. 8 agencies, including the UN, did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Scott Anderson, the Gaza Affairs Director for the UN Agency for Palestinians, told CNN that he was hopeful the pause would bring in much-needed aid for the population. The pause along the southern route comes as Israel and Hamas are awaiting the latest proposals for ceasefire, a plan that was detailed by President Joe Biden and the administration's most concentrated diplomatic push for a halt to the fighting and the release of hostages taken by the militant group. While Biden described the proposal as an Israeli one, the Israel has not fully embraced it, and Hamas has demanded changes that appear unacceptable to Israel. The fighting continues unabated, and Israel announced the name Sunday of a total of 11 soldiers killed in recent attacks in Gaza, including one who died from wounds sustained in an assault last week. That puts the number of soldiers killed since Israel began its ground invasion of Gaza last year at 308. Hamas killed 1,200 people during its October 7th attack and took 250 hostages, Israel authorities said. Health officials in Hamas and Gaza said more than 37,000 Palestinians have been killed in the war. My throat. I'm definitely not feeling it today. Israel's 8-month military offensive against Hamas, sparked by the militant group's October 7th attack, has plunged Gaza into a humanitarian crisis, with the UN reporting widespread hunger and hundreds of thousands of people on the brink of famine. The international community has urged Israel to do more to ease the crunch and has said the ongoing fighting, including in Rafah, has complicated a deliveries throughout the war. From May 6th to June 6th, the UN received an average of 68 trucks of aid a day, according to figures from the UN Humanitarian Office known as OCHA. That was down from 168 a day in April and far below the 500 trucks a day that aid groups say are needed. The flow of aid in southern Gaza declined just as humanitarian need grew. More than 1 million Palestinians, many of whom had already been displaced, fled Rafah after the invasion, crowding into some parts of southern and central Gaza, most now languish in ramshackle tent camps, using trenches as latrines with open sewage in the streets. COGAT says there are no restrictions on entry of trucks. It says more than 8,600 trucks of all kinds, both aid and commercial, entered Gaza from all crossings from May 2nd to June 13th, an average of 201 per day, but much of that aid has piled up at the crossings and not reached its final destination. A spokesman for COGAT, Shimon Friedman, said it was the UN's fault that its cargo stacked up on the Gaza side of Kerem Shalom. He said the agencies have fundamental logistical problems that they have not fixed, especially a lack of trucks. UN denies such allegations. It says the fighting between Israel and Hamas often makes it too dangerous for UN trucks inside Gaza to travel to Kerem Shalom, which is right next to the Israel's border. It also says the pace of the deliveries has been slow because the Israeli military must authorize drivers to travel to the site. A system Israel says was designed for the driver's safety. Due to a lack of security, ATACs in some cases have been also looted by crowds as they move along Gaza's road. Yes, that is true. People that are very desperate, and I did see some UN tanks getting looted and then they was being attacked. So I mean, this is kind of logical for their own safety. It was not immediately clear whether the army would provide security to protect the aid tanks as they moved along the highway. And this is it. Yes, it is. Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, the aid there is not going as much as the UN would like to. Again, like the safety of the drivers and personnel has to be taken in consideration. People that are very desperate, and with desperation comes some very nasty thoughts and nasty actions. Therefore, it is very necessary for the drivers to be safe. Since if more videos of Palestinians attacking the humanitarian aids would come out, then it would be a lot of ammunition for the far righters to use in their own propaganda to stop that aid and to practically let them starve out in some cases. Therefore, yeah, I mean, security is very important here. Whether the Israeli are, purposefully slowing down these humanitarian aids, possible, maybe likely, I do not know. We'll probably learn that. Like 2 years from now on, when some new data will surge out. Right now, we only have what we have from the news media and maybe some bloggers, if there are any, in the war. Just like there are some military bloggers in the Russian war against Ukraine. Okay, so moving on. Putin congratulates South Africa's Ramaphosa on re-election, an indication of warm ties. Yes, I believe the president, the South African president, got re-elected. It doesn't seem there are any actual. Then we'll probably not. I'm gonna read the TLDR. Sorry, I yawned. I won't be opening any of these sites because I'm worried that they would show up my email address, which I do not want. Vladimir Putin congratulated Cyril Ramaphosa on his re-election as South Africa's president, showing good relations despite uncertainties over Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Both leaders expressed hope for future strengthening their partnership in all aspects, as per statement on Kremlin's website. The Kremlin's gesture and positive communication reflect ongoing cooperation between Russia and South Africa. Yes, BRICS. South Africa is part of the BRICS economic bloc. I was definitely hoping there would be more change. The main party that used to rule South Africa definitely got weaker. However, I still think it's not enough considering just how poorly things are going over there. It is what it is. Hopefully the situation will get better for the South Africans, and in the future, hopefully, the new MPs will actually prove useful and they might actually bring some change. Otherwise, I mean, the South Africa is in a very poor state right now. A lot of wealth inequalities, a lot of poverty there. It's not a good country. So moving on, as I said, I'm not going to be reading any of these articles because I'm too scared they actually gonna be pulled my email address. AI could help spread false and misleading information on Holocaust. UNESCO report warns. Yep, we're gonna have a good one. There's quite a bit of articles. Let's see. Click on details, sure. Okay. AI could help spread false and misleading information on Holocaust, UNESCO reports warns. I am still facepalming right now. Like, what sort of a misinformation? Like, how can you get misinformed against the Holocaust? Like, how? Like, how do you not know about Holocaust? Like, this is one of the worst chapters in the human history. If not the worst, I mean, sure, some people will go over that like only, 7 or how many millions died there in the Holocaust. But I mean, there was, like, Holocaust was one of the most dangerous projects ever. The final solution, the Aryan race, the blonde, guys with blue eyes, in all those sexy uniforms, pure black, fucking SS feels. Like, how can you get misinformed about this? Like, I'm sorry, if you actually get any sort of misinformation, if you actually think anything that the Holocaust was anything but one of the worst things that ever happened, that was one of the worst things humanity ever done, then you deserve to lose your voting right. You should be put to fucking mad cell. You should be put in a madhouse under fucking surveillance. Because, like, how? And yes, I understand people in South America, Asia, Africa probably are not taught about this as much as they should be. Because, I mean, this was concerning everyone on this goddamn planet. Like, Nazism was one of the most dangerous ideologies that ever came to life. And it would cause the extinction of many, many cultures. Or it would enslave those cultures. Most likely, because obviously, the superior race needs workers. They need workers, they need slaves, serfs. I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. I need my throat to be fit for this. And I just can get past to the masses of idiots that actually, low-key support this, like low-key support them or say but about them, but Nazis this, but Nazis that. Like, a lot of people now associate the Nazis as, racist, just blunt racist. However, they were much more worse than racist. Like, people think like Nazis were promoting, white race. No, they were promoting very specific race. They were promoting a race with very specific biological qualities. Blonde people, blue eyes. This is what, very white. This was what they were promoting. Like, if you were white and if you did not have, blonde hair, if you weren't, white enough, you would not be viewed as the equal. No, you would be viewed as an inferior race. Alright? Like, Nazism was the worst. And by worst, I mean quite literally one of the, if not the absolute worst that the humanity could ever seen. Yeah, I mean, the correct terminology for today's Nazis is neo-Nazism, obviously, the new Nazism. Because I mean, and yes, a lot of people actually simp for them. They do have the, old artifacts from the Deutsches Reich. However, very funny thing is that most of these people would be serfs. Yes, they would be serfs under the Nazi regime. Because they are not the superior race. They would not be the superior race in the slightest. They would be viewed as a dirty subspecies. Just like the 99% of the human population would be. Well, not 99%, that probably a bit less. Like 95%. But still. Let's get real about AI. I mean, if you think... I don't even know how you should be able to get misled about Holocaust. Like, if you manage to get misled, then you're an idiot, and you should be under surveillance. I'm sorry to say that to you, but like, how can you get misled about this? Like, how? Explain to me. How could you get misled? Oh yes, because people say, Wikipedia and sites like that are propaganda of the woke leftists. Maybe that's why. Then you get alternative news, and those alternative news are very alternative, to be frank. Washington. A United Nations agency is warning that developments in artificial intelligence could spawn a new surge in Holocaust denial. Well, there are definitely much more pressing matters that could AI, spark, but I mean, sure, whatever. A report on Tuesday by UNESCO concludes that AI could result in a false and misleading claims about the Holocaust spreading online, either because of the flaws in the programs or because hate groups and Holocaust deniers will intentionally use AI programs to generate content and that false recalls into the question of the murder of Jews and other groups by the Nazis. One of the biggest concerns that Sorry, I hit my mic. One of the biggest concerns that the AI could be used to create the so-called deepfakes of Holocaust realistic images or videos that could be used to suggest the Holocaust didn't happen. Oh my god. Or it was exaggerated. Yes, 7 million deaths is exaggerated. You do not deserve a voting right if you think that's true. You do not deserve a voting right. You do not deserve any human rights if you think Holocaust is a hoax. And I'm not sorry. Like, I'm quite literally not sorry. You do not deserve any kind of goodwill if you think that's a hoax. One of the, if not the darkest chapters in the human history. A hoax. Like, this is something that could happen in the 21st century only. Or under a really ruthless regimes that would intentionally erase stuff from history. We also had those in our past. So I mean, yeah. However, come on, like, this happened 80 years ago, 80 plus years ago. Like, it happened between years 1930. 4, 6, something in late 1930s to the end of the World War II. The report noted that some AI-assisted programs allow users to interact with simulated historical figures, including prominent Nazis like Adolf Hitler, alias Adolf Schmittler. If we allow the horrific facts of the Holocaust to be diluted, distorted, or falsified through the irresponsible use of AI, we risk the explosive spread of anti-Semitism. There is already an explosive spread of anti-Semitism. Just read the news once a while. Sorry, I should reiterate. Read different news once a while. Maybe girl news, for example. Just click on some articles about girl news and you will probably find that, there's been definitely an increase in anti-Semitism since a long while now, actually. The tensions in the Gaza has been high for a long while. And the gradual diminution of our understanding about the cases and consequences of these atrocities. Audrey Azoulay said in statement accompanying the report. The widespread use of AI for assistance in education, research, and writing are increasing the likelihood that unreliable data and artificial intelligence hallucinations could increase public misunderstandings about the Holocaust, even the inadvertent ones. AI programs whose understanding of the world is based on relatively narrow sources can also return incomplete or misleading responses when asked about the Holocaust. Again, I have no idea how could you be misled about the Holocaust. UNESCO's report called on tech companies to establish ethical rules for development and use of AI to reduce the chances of unreliable information and to prevent bad actors from harnessing their programs in order to encourage violence and to spread lies about the Holocaust. The report was published in partnership with the World Jewish Congress. Oh, so I understand. Okay, I understand why this article was made. World Jewish Congress. So you're telling me AP News was paid by the World Jewish Congress to make this article? How interesting. Indeed, anti-Semitism is a issue that's happening in the world. However, this definitely feels a little bit more disingenuous now. And yes, I already thought it was strange in the beginning that they would talk specifically about the Holocaust. So, I mean, I'm not really surprised by that. Okay, give me a moment. I'm gonna change the scene and I'm gonna Google it. What is a World Jewish Congress? World Jewish Congress. The WGC represents the plurality of the Jewish people and it's politically non-partisan. Somehow I doubt about it. But hey. Okay, I'm just gonna make it very easy. Political leaning. Okay, what is this? Something about Orban. The Hungary's Prime Minister says World Jewish Congress ahead has left-wing agenda. Okay. Oh. Okay, and I'm not I'm not seeing my chat yet again. Oh my god, this is okay. Having Twitch on, I'm gonna download the Twitch app. I'm gonna download the Twitch app for the next thing because this is pissing me off. I did not see the "it's coming home" comment, and I did not see the message afterwards. Okay, it's coming home. Why did it talk to you? Oh, I know why. It's probably because it's in all caps. It's in all caps. So if you would write it normally, then something like this, then it would be normal. and that this is not working again. I'm gonna fix this. How that is not works? Oh yeah, I have a protection about all caps. I will probably have to tune it down a bit. But yeah, I mean this. Come on. Eek. There you go. And it should cancel, save. Thank you. Leave. Thank you. Yes, okay, that works. That I one less thing to worry about. So I don't know about the World Jewish Congress, what it is or what it isn't. Oh, I can see the. Oh, I can see now more of the messages actually. Good. Okay, I do not know about the World Jewish Congress. However, this was paid for. I'm gonna definitely include it in the video if it makes a video. Probably will, because I had something to say about it. A little bit more than in the previous articles. Definitely my political commentary has been pretty low today. But hey, that sometimes happens. We still have quite a bit more. We have like 2, 4, 6, 8. We have more than 10 articles, then we'll probably get some good ones. Self-funded political newcomer seeks to oust long-time Republican U.S. Representative Tom Cole in Oklahoma. That is very good. That is very good for the US politics to have a self-funded politicians, because as I said sometimes before, the corporations are pretty much choosing you who to vote for. They are telling you which candidate you should know about, which candidate you should be interested in, even though you do not realize it. The corporations pretty much decide who you will vote for. Is there any good? Washington Post or ABC News? Okay, I'm gonna change the scene just in case they're gonna whip out my email address. They will not. Perfect. I guess this is only a right-wing thing to dox you. Joke. Self-funded political newcomer seeks to oust long-time Republican U.S. Representative Tom Cole in Oklahoma. A 5-way Republican primary for Oklahoma 4th Congressional District is among the top races being watched in Tuesday's primary in Oklahoma. And I forgot to play you the video from the previous article. Sorry about that. Oklahoma City. U.S. Representative Tom Cole of Oklahoma, the powerful Republican chairman of the House Appropriations Committee, was trying to fend off a primary challenge Tuesday from a businessman who has poured millions of his own dollars into the race. Political newcomer Paul Bondar has loaned more than $5 million of his own money to his campaign in Oklahoma's 4th Congressional District. The other 3 GOP candidates are also on the ballot. They not even mention their names. Lol. Cole, a long-time GOP political strategist in Oklahoma before his election to Congress in 2002, has endorsed of former President Donald Trump, but Bondar's money has allowed him to blanket the television airwaves and social media with a barrage of ads touting his candidacy. He's been in Congress since 2002 then. Another reason why US politicians should have a limit to stay in their place of power for only a limited time, like at most 12 to 16 years, at most. You could stay 26 years if, or 24 years if you go for the president, obviously. Otherwise, on position like this, there should be definitely a variation in more local, like mayors, obviously that's not really how it should go. However, Congress has a direct influence on US citizens' lives, as same as the Senate, and the population there should rotate. It should not stay the same. It should not be the same dinosaurs telling you what to do and how much more money will you going to pay on taxes this year. $5 million in Oklahoma would be like $15 million in Atlanta or $20 million in Los Angeles, said Chad Alexander, the former chairman of the Oklahoma Republican Party and the host of a political talk show on radio station KOSKC. The most frequent question I get asked, when is this election over? Because there are so many Bonda & Co. ads on the air. People are just sick of them. Yeah. Get ready for the main core. The Biden versus Trump. That is definitely going to get out very quickly. Bonda has also faced questions about his residency. He most recently lived in Texas and voted in that state's Republican primary in March, which has become a focal point of Cole's attack. Bonda has attacked Cole as a Washington insider willing to vote with Democrats on spending bills, including billions of dollars in aid to Ukraine. Oh, so the self-funded guy is this guy. Oh yeah, so his main attack point is that Cole. We're gonna keep reading. Maybe there's more. Cole typically faces only token opposition, but records show he has spent more than $3.1 million so far on the primary. If no candidate wins more than 50% of the vote, the top two vote getters will face off in a primary runoff in August 27th. Oklahoma's first district stretches across south-central Oklahoma and includes Ada, Ardmore, Duncan, Lawton, Fort Sill, Moore, and Norman. If he uses Ukraine as his... come on, man. They needed 80... Okay, so, I mean, I was talking that USA needs more self-funded politicians, but... this is not it. Come on. What you want? You want Ukraine to have none of it. You want Ukraine to fall to Russia because you think there would be peace. I have a news for you. There won't be any peace. Just look at the world. Look at how many conflicts are in Africa. Then you have the Gaza war. Then you have the Myanmar civil war. There's a lot of conflict in the world. This is just stupid argument to make. You once decided that you will support Ukraine, so don't you dare pull out. There are two other Oklahoma congressmen facing challenges. It's the Tulsa-based first district Republican U.S. Representative Kevin Herron is competing against Paul Royce. Royce has not filed campaign finance disclosures with the Federal Election Commission. On the Democratic side, either Evelyn Rogers, who has sought this seat as an independent in the past two general elections, or former FBI agent Dennis Baker will face the Republican winner in November. Baker has reported almost 91,000 raised to Rogers' 1.3 thousand. Then you see how much that other guy put in, $3 million. Republican U.S. Representative Frank Lucas, the longest tenured incumbent in the House delegation, has two challengers, neither of whom reported raising more than 20,000 this cycle. Okay. So my point still stands. USA needs more politicians that are self-running. They invest their own funds into it and they do not get lobbied by wealthy individuals. That could help the United States politics to actually become something beneficial for their people. Possibly, maybe. I don't know. The US politics are in a deep shit. USA is indebting at a record pace, and it seems not to be slowing anytime soon. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I believe in September there will be Fed will be speaking about the cutting the rates again. We'll see how the economy develops. Otherwise, I don't know. Yeah, you need more politicians, obviously. You need more self-fund politicians, and you need more parties. That's the main point. You need more parties. Like, two-party system is shit. Like, if one party messes up, then you're gonna have other party in a super majority. Which they will not be representing, the other people who vote for the other party. And more importantly, they're going to be corrupt, same as the party that lost, because in two-party system, everybody is corrupt. And they are corrupted even more. The only reason why United States is still running is because they are so fucking rich. If they weren't rich, if their GDP was lower, then this country would probably collapse. Quite a while ago, actually. But yeah, the American dream kept it alive, and there will be definitely questions in the upcoming years if that debt is not under control. So I'm gonna go pee. So we're gonna take a short pause. You can see what article we have next. McDonald's pauses AI ordering at drive-thrus. I'm not quite sure why I put it here, but hey. Some, variety of content, so stay tuned and be right back. It's not coming home. It's not. So we continue. McDonald's pauses AI ordering at drive-thrus. We're gonna read this. I assume it's going to be some short article. The hell? Sure, why not? Ouch. Ouch, something is in my nose. Fuck. Okay. A little bit better. McDonald's pauses AI ordering at drive-thrus. McDonald's will hold the pilot for an artificial intelligence-powered ordering assistant, potentially marking a setback for the technology's takeover of daily life. The fast food giant will end its 2-year partnership with IBM for the AI system by July 26th, meaning the tech will be removed from about 100 stores nationwide, industry publication Restaurant Business reported Friday. The automated order technology developed by IBM partnership allowed customers to speak with an AI-powered assistant instead of a real person at the drive-thru in order window. I wonder how expensive that is actually. If it's actually more expensive than your regular just McDonald's worker. The company told franchisees that while the IBM partnership is ending late next month, it hasn't closed the doors on future development for drive-thru order technology powered by AI. While there have been successes to date, we feel there is an opportunity to explore voice ordering solutions more broadly. McDonald's executive Mason Smoot wrote in a message acquired by Restaurant Business. IBM has given us confidence that a voice ordering solution for drive-thru will be part of our restaurant future, and we want to sincerely thank IBM and the restaurant teams that have been part of this crucial test. The fast food chain told Restaurant Business that it will continue to work with IBM on other technologies for its business. McDonald's isn't the only fast food chain to dabble in AI ordering. Both White Castle, I have no idea what that is, and Wendy's, I only know that because of their logo and because some of their tweets went a bit viral, are among the companies who have announced plans to roll out automated ordering in some capacity. Checkers and Larry's, Carl's Jr.'s, and Hardee's and Dunkin' have also begun development on the tech, according to the restaurant business. I still only remember Carl's Jr.'s because of that one ad with that big booba blonde. And that's been like 10 years now. Although she got a reduction though. She no longer has them. Yes, a very sad day for humanity indeed. Well, if it's affecting your health, then obviously you do what is best for your health, and that's good. The tech development balances a desire to lower staffing needs to save money with the need for quick and accurate service, though it's currently unclear if the technology is good enough to replace drive-thru staff entirely. Some customers have complained that the tech can't understand certain accents or can have trouble discerning background noises. I don't know about the background noises, however, I mean, you can just articulate better. Sure, it probably might be hard for some people, but I mean, I usually don't have problem with articulation, and I'm half German, half Slav. Well, then again, I have a little bit problem sometimes articulating in my own language. Well, I guess I understand the concerns, the complaints. This was a very short article and just wanted to put it here because, hey, it's something interesting and who knows, you might actually like it. And I want to have some variety news here, I don't want to have just politics. So next one we got NATO. NATO says a record of more than 20 allies are expected to hit alliance's target for defense spending this year. Sorry about it. I got a hiccup. Okay, who actually posts it from the right? Fox News, perhaps. I do not read many right-wing articles nowadays. I mean, that's because they just tend to show up my email address and I don't like that. Okay, let's read the Hill. Damn, I'm so tired. Damn, I'm actually tired. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to finish it or how many we still have up. Including this, we have 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13 articles. We'll get to somehow. 23 NATO members on track to meet 2% GDP spending goal. How many members are in NATO? I think it's like 29 or... yeah, I think 29. No, 32 actually. They read it right here. President Biden on Monday welcomed as good news the announcement that 23 countries in the 32-member NATO alliance are on track to spend 2% of their GDP on military defense this year, an important benchmark established in 2014. No or yes? Yes, no. I know Trump made it a big vocal point in his campaign, therefore one would assume it was his idea. I know he was pushing for it the most, definitely. In his presidency, that the NATO members should spend 2%, although I'm not quite sure if this was actually established in 2040, or maybe they're talking about the benchmark that just follows the GDP they put into the defense. I'm not quite sure. But I mean, Trump was one of the loudest for other NATO members to spend much more on their defense. We have a very important announcement to make today. A record number of allies are meeting NATO's commitment to at least 2% of their GDP on defense. This isn't anything you should be celebrating, this should be given. Biden said in remarks at the White House ahead of a meeting with NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg. Every nation should have a capable military to defend itself. Like that should be, like, you should not be celebrating that that the nations in your alliance are actually now finally investing money in their defense forces. Stoltenberg said 23 members of the alliance will spend at least 2% of their GDP on defense in 2024. NATO allies agreed in the 2014 summit held in Wales that member states would increase their respective domestic defense spending to 2% of their GDP. Just 5 years ago, there were still less than 10 allies that spent 2% of GDP on defense, he said in remarks delivered on Monday at the Wilson Center. This is good for Europe and good for America, especially since much of this extra money is spent here in the US, Stoltenberg continued. Part of a pitch to show up American support for NATO that is under attack from former President Trump. Well, I mean, he never said anything against NATO, if I remember, or anything explicit. Although he said a lot of very bold statements. I mean, which I do still think are mainly because of the campaign. For campaign, like both of these candidates will say a lot of shit they will never uphold. He said he would not defend members that do not spend 2% of their GDP. Otherwise, this is a bit unhinged from Stoltenberg. Trump has repeatedly criticized NATO allies for not spending more on the defense. The presumptive Republican presidential nominee has been a vocal critic of the NATO alliance and has threatened to withdraw the US from the alliance or hold back American commitments to the defense of all members who have yet to increase their defense spending to meet the 2% mark. Biden said Monday that the number of countries in the alliance meeting the 2% spending mark more than doubled since January 2021. I wonder what could happen in that timeline that could actually force them to finally spend more money on the defense. Definitely couldn't be any war, any threat to their own sovereignty. Again, as I said before, this is nothing you should celebrate. Like, this should be given. They spend 2% on their GDP, 2% of their GDP minimum on defense. The ideal would be like 2.5% or 2.75% if you need to modernize your army. The statistics marks a key argument for Biden's re-election campaign, surrounding his leadership in NATO and his support for the defensive military alliance. Trump supporters say this is antagonistic rhetoric that has spurred allies to increase their defense spending. Not untrue, okay? It's not untrue. However, it definitely didn't have as big of an impact as the invasion of Ukraine has had. But the former president's critics say his threats against the alliance undermine trust in the US commitments. No, CIA, FBI, or CIA would not let them to withdraw from the alliance. Biden will hold NATO's 75th anniversary summit in Washington in July. The summit is meant to serve as a celebration of the alliance's history, but will also serve as a pivotal meeting to demonstrate support and resolve for Ukraine in its war against Russia and ahead of an uncertain American election. Allies worry that a potential Trump election will see the US pull back on its participation in NATO. threaten its unity or push Ukraine into a ceasefire with Russia and on terms more preferable to Moscow. I mean, at the summit, NATO allies are expected to announce a number of initiatives that institutionalize the alliance's support for Ukraine and that serve to take over the leadership role currently held by the US. And who is going to take over? Like, none of the NATO members spend as much as the US. Like, nobody has a capable military, actually. Like, who would actually lead NATO or anyone other besides the US? Like, NATO is the US and some other nations with poor militaries. That's a fact. Okay, I just lost my... Okay, this includes NATO taking the lead on organizing weapons procurement and deliveries for Ukraine, which is currently led by the US and a long-term financial pledge. And this is it. So Trump was definitely vocal back in the day about the spending of NATO. He was pressuring other countries to spend more on the defense. This is something you have to give him. That he was pressuring long before the Russians actually went into Ukraine. So you could theoretically say he actually saw this coming. He didn't. But yeah. The war in Ukraine finally kicked them in the ass to actually up their spending. But yeah, them definitely has a role to play here. And we should give him the praise for it, obviously. I mean, as I said, 2% is the minimal. 2.5% should be the ideal of GDP spent on military, on the defense. So there you go. I mean, yeah. Give credit where credit is due. Criticize where the critics, where it's criticized where it's needed. He has a lot of flaws we need to criticize. And just between us, guys, I would definitely not vote him. But then again, I would not vote Biden either. I will not vote any dinosaurs anymore. Well, I never actually did vote for a dinosaur though. I voted once. Well, I did vote for a dinosaur in a presidential election actually. I'm not an American, right? I'm not talking about the US right now. So, yeah. But I usually voted for parties with a bit whom had younger politicians there. It didn't pay off, and in the last election, I just put all the parties on a spinning wheel and I spinned it. First came the communists, so I spinned again, and then came the party I gave my vote to. That shows just how much I was disgusted by the current politics and just how little there were actually politicians that managed to connect with me. Moving on. Low snow on Himalayas threatens water security study. Okay. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Before that, we're gonna find Japan times, sure. I'm gonna take a quick sip. Okay. So we have Japan times. Low snow on the Himalayas threatens water security. Millions of people dependent on Himalayan snowmelt for water face a very serious risk of shortages this year after one of the lowest rates of snowfall, scientists warned Monday. Snowmelt is the source of water of total water flow of 12 major river basins that originate high in the region, the report said. This is a wake-up call for researchers, policymakers, and downstream communities, said the report. Author Sher Muhammad from the Nepal-based International Center for Integrated Mountain Development, ICEMOD. Lower accumulation of snow and fluctuating levels of snow pose a very serious increases of water shortages, particularly this year. Snow and ice on the Himalayas are a crucial water source for around 240 million people in mountainous regions, as well as for another 1.6 billion people in the river valleys below, according to ICEMOD. While snow levels fluctuate each year, scientists say climate change is driving erratic rainfall and shifting weather patterns. The report measured snow persistence and the time snow remains on the ground, with levels dropping almost a fifth below normal this year across the wider Hindu Kush and Himalaya regions. This year, snow persistence, 18.5% below normal, is the second lowest in the past 22 years, narrowly trailing the record low of 19% set in 2018, Muhammad said. As well as Nepal, the intergovernmental ICEMOD organization includes member countries of Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar, and Pakistan. The report warned that this organization observations and projections indicate the significant changes to the timing and intensity of the stream flows, with snow a key part. Snow plays a particularly important role in ensuring seasonal water availability, it added. The organization has been monitoring snow in the region for over 2 decades, noting that 2024 marked a significant anomaly. The Ganges, or yes, I assume is it Ganges? Probably a bit Ganges or Ganges. I'm gonna call it Ganges. The Ganges River Basin, which flows throughout India, had the lowest snow persistence that ICEMOD has recorded, 17% below average, worse than 15% in 2018. The Helmand River Basin in Afghanistan recorded second lowest snow persistence level, 32% below normal. The Indus River Basin was down 23% below normal levels, while Brahmaputra River Basin, which ends in Bangladesh, had snow persistence notably below normal at 15%. Miriam Jackson, a senior cryosphere specialist in ICEMOD, urged authorities to take proactive measures to address possible drought situations. Yes, there are places such as India and her neighbors that rely a lot on the melted water from the Himalayas, as it provides them with the source of the drinking water. This is definitely worrying, and this hopefully it does not progress any worse, because this could definitely cause a major problem for the Indian population, as they are already experiencing a lot of problems regarding the climate destabilization. So I think you probably had an actual say about it. Yeah, a lot of radical weather, very strange, very insane weather going on in India from time to time. Sometimes it rains a lot and there are floods. Sometimes it doesn't rain and you have droughts. It is not good time, and especially this is going to be very bad in the developing countries, and hopefully something can be done about this. Otherwise, I mean, the people that have been so vocal about anti-immigration, but about they're definitely gonna see some immigration afterwards if this gets any worse. So yeah, I don't think there's a comment section here, unfortunately. But moving on, I did not say anything to it because really, like, I don't know much about India. I know it's a very delicate nature system over there with a billion plus people in it. Like, if anything radical happens there, then the entire world is going to feel it. If a lot of people are gonna get displaced, then what is this? Tokyo's government's Tinder is actually a good idea. No, it isn't. China launches anti-dumping probe into EU pork imports. Interesting. China opens tit for tat anti-dumping probe into European pork. Beijing, China has opened anti-dumping investigation into imported pork and its imported pork and its byproducts from the European Union, a step that appears mainly aimed at Spain, the Netherlands, and Denmark in response to curbs on its electric vehicle exports. The investigation announced by China's Commerce Ministry on Monday will focus on pork intended for human consumption, such as fresh, cold, and frozen whole cuts, as well as pig intestines, bladders, and stomachs. The probe will begin on June 17th, so it's been going on for about a day now. It was prompted by complaints submitted by China's Animal Husbandry Association on June 6 on behalf of the domestic pork industry, the minister said. Following the European Commission's June 12 announcement that it would impose anti-subsidy duties of up to 38.1% on imported Chinese cars from July, global food companies have been on high alert for retaliatory tariffs from China. Yes, the EU is not able to produce cheap vehicles, so they have to impose tariffs. Tariffs on China, so they do not seem as incompetent as they are. What are these articles? What the fuck? Sarah Yasmin exposes romantic text set to be Singaporean woman killed in Spain had what? Photographer alleges he was forced to watch. Okay, I'm gonna click on this. Okay, I'm gonna switch to the be right back, just for sure. Photographer alleges he was forced to watch Megan Thee Stallion have sex and was unfairly fired. Oh. Oh, fuck. Okay, I feel sorry for the guy. I'm not going to read this. I'm not going to. It's old. It's from 24th April, but. Alright, moving back. Spain is the top supplier of pork to China, and its pork producers group Interpork said they would fully cooperate with the investigation by Chinese authorities. The EU and China have plenty of time to reach agreements, Interpork said in a statement. European pork producers should be able to keep exporting to China tariff-free while the investigation is underway, pending a decision and a tariff announcements by the Chinese side. China's Commerce Minister said the investigation should be completed by June 17, 2025, that could be extended by another 6 months if required. Lobby group Danish Agriculture and Food Council warned on Monday that the country's pork sector would be hit incredibly hard by any restriction on sales to China. Pork supplies from South America, the United States, and Russia could be among those gaining market share if Beijing restricts imports from the European Union. China's state-backed Global Times newspaper first reported last month that Chinese firms plan to ask authorities to open an anti-dumping investigation into some European pork products, citing an unidentified business insider. That was followed by a second report in the same outlet on June 8, requesting officials to look into the European dairy imports. Chinese authorities have previously hinted at possible retaliatory measures throughout the state media commentaries and interviews with industry figures. A spokesperson for the European Commission said the bloc was not worried about China opening its investigation and told the reporters that the EU would intervene appropriately to ensure the investigation complied with all relevant World Trade Organization rules. The EU accounts for more than half the roughly US $6 billion worth of pork China imported in 2023, according to customs data, around a quarter of which was from Spain alone. Second and third ranking, the Netherlands and Denmark last year exported to China pork products worth $620 million and $550 million respectively. China's Commerce Minister Wang Wentao earlier this month traveled to Spain to court officials ahead of the Commission's announcing its decision on whether Chinese electric vehicles producers benefit from distortive state subsidies. It will not be the first time that a probe announced in one jurisdiction is responded to in kind, so in view of the EU electric vehicles probe, that is not a surprise, Jens Eskelund, president of the European Union Chambers of Commerce in China, said. Free and open markets rely on rules-based state practices, he added. Growing alarm over Chinese industrial overcapacity flooding the EU with cheap products, including EVs. Oh no, they are flooding us with cheap cars. How dare they? How dare they offer us a good bargain? This is unacceptable. Our citizens, our Europeans will only have the hardest, the toughest bargains right up their arse. The most expensive EVs, the most expensive healthcare, well, after the US, the most expensive useless military, everything is useless in the EU. Ura! Wait, that's Russian, sorry. What is something EU? Oh yes. Oh ja! Jawohl, mein Offizier. Growing alarms over Chinese industrial overcapacity from the EU is opening a new front in the West trade war with Beijing, which began with Washington's import tariffs in 2018. EU trade policy is turning increasingly protective against the global ramification of China's production-focused, debt-driven development model. Governments typically place anti-dumping duties on imported goods when they suspect the item in question is being sold for less than it costs to produce in order to protect domestic firms. I still don't see how it is my problem that I could buy an EV that is much more cheaper than the Western counterparts. Like, you do realize that these people have been telling you to actually buy EV to go, green and shit like that. And now when you actually have an option, they care about it because, they're getting outcompeted. And they put a lot of money into the EV industry as well, like, don't forget about that. I mean, I feel no sympathy towards the EU, like, they invested a lot. But I mean, they're frankly incompetent. Like, they even got Tesla to actually produce EVs for them. So I mean, yeah, obviously, like, the Chinese will be cheaper if they have to compete with Tesla, which I believe is pretty expensive, or is relatively expensive, as far as I remember. I don't know how the situation is right now. Maybe that it got better, but who knows? I mean, all Elon Musk is doing is, being on Twitter and making some random speeches that are literally nothing to the topic, but whatever. Governments typically place and yes, so be it. Okay, interesting article. Again, actions have reactions. You should know this from elementary. EU is trying to regulate Chinese products, so Chinese will strike back. Easy as that. Moving on. Oh yeah, we got one more article about the Gaza war. I'm gonna skip this actually, because we already talked about it. And I just do not want to talk much more about Gaza right now. So we're gonna skip this. In short, Netanyahu dissolved his war cabinet. However, that affects ceasefire efforts. Yeah, people got tired of it. People in the cabinet got tired of it, and some people actually started leaving. So, yeah, it was pretty logical they would disband it because some prominent names already left there. They knew this was pretty much bullshit. So, oh yeah, we got then the article I was talking about earlier. ISIS planned attack on Real Madrid players and fans thwarted. Report. An Islamic State terrorist organization Splinter Cell planned a shooting attack on Real Madrid fans and players, the newspaper El Confidencial revealed on Monday. Jerusalem Post, not interested. It doesn't have much coverage actually. ABC. I'm gonna check ABC, however, I'm gonna set the other scene because I'm not sure what they're going to show to me. Oh, this is Spanish, and they are, of course, they are showing my full email address. To continue browsing, you will need to deactivate your ad blocker, or if you prefer, subscribe to ABC Premium. I do not prefer. Okay, I'm gonna disable it. And I would prefer. To continue, google.com will share your name, email address, and profile picture with this site. See this site privacy policy and terms of service. Thank you. I'm glad that the Google is sharing my name and address and my name, my email address, and profile picture with my entire Twitch stream. Thank you very much. I'm not. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure if I want to read this, but hopefully I won't see any pop-up. If I see pop-up, I will be very angry, and I will have to, and I will actually have to, not have this stream up. Because the Islamic State called for an attack against Real Madrid players and their fans. An operation by the civil guard dismantled a jihadist propaganda network in Andalusia and Catalonia that targeted the Madrid club, among other interests and organizations. Last week, the Civil Guard and the FBI dismantled the largest online section known to date dedicated to the dissemination of the Islamic State propaganda. Wasn't FBI supposed to be like USA domestic, agency? I guess they got to this info as well somehow. Maybe CIA shit, but a bit strange that the FBI is in. But whatever. With the aim of the indoctrinating forwards to wage jihad or holy war. Among the objectives identified was the Real Madrid bus with its footballs inside, as well as followers. A total of 9 people were arrested in Spain as part of the operation Algeciras, Cadiz, Antas, Almeria, and South Girona or Girona. The first of those detained was a subject settled in Lerida, who, after reaching the last stage of the jihadist radicalization process, made the decision to move to the conflict zone. Reporter J.J. Madueño and Pablo Munoz, the individual was intercepted at the Barcelona airport when he was preparing to board the plane, heading to his objective. This operation began 2 years ago after detecting the transition into Spanish of terrorist content linked to said organization in the media entity Islam Foundation, Islam Foundation, and has ended with action against the servers that hosted the terrorist content. Among the messages intercepted by the FBI and the civil guard, there are 2 that point directly to Real Madrid and Santiago Bernabeu, urging lone wolves to attack the first team and the Madrid stadium. There are comments, but I'm not going to click them. I'm gonna go off this site because I'm worried they might show my email address. So yeah, this is it's very good they managed to stop this. Obviously, I mean, this is a reminder too that the ISIS is still alive, still kicking, and is still planning terrorist attacks across Europe. So what could they manage to catch this group and no one come to harm? I mean, so yeah, we got a good ending. Moving on. Damn, I'm not feeling too good. I'm gonna skip this. Gary Lineker accused of breaking BBC rules again without videoing Houston. This is more of a bizarre article, but I'm gonna take a look. Okay, so we have Daily Mirror, Meta News. Bowden. Nah, I'm gonna skip this. Maybe I'm gonna take a look on the Western Mercury, but I'm gonna switch the scenes again. So I can see if they actually okay. I accept. Worcestershire. Okay, it's not showing up my address, so hopefully it's okay. BBC reminds presenters of guidelines as Gary Lineker appears to break rules. Okay. I mean, this doesn't seem to break any etiquette to me, so I'm not quite sure. BBC has said on-screen presenters and contributors are regularly reminded of the guidelines in relation to clothing. The statement came after Gary Lineker appeared to break rules by wearing outfits he advertises. Oh, I see. So he was making ads for himself. He was promoting his own merch, his own outfits. I see. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, this sure makes sense. So okay, I'm gonna skip this though. I thought this would be some sort of bizarre that he wore something like t-shirt or shorts to the studio, but I mean, this is okay then. I mean, obviously, promoting your own shameless promotions, promoting your own stuff, yeah, I mean, If he did not have it approved, then obviously there's nothing to debate about on here. So moving on. Greek Coast Guard accused of throwing migrants overboard to their deaths. Do I want to read this? Probably not, that's not. We have to, I'm gonna go on the second one. And I'm gonna check the others as well. Okay, we're gonna talk about this. Do I want to talk about Kylian Mbappe? No. No. And this as well. So we only have 3 more articles left, so it's good. Click on the thing. There we go. Nuclear-armed nations are deepening their reliance on their nuclear weapons, Watchdog finds. Yes, it is very easy to depend on a weapon that will completely eradicate your enemies. The world's 9 nuclear-armed states continue to modernize their nuclear weapons as countries deepen their reliance on such deterrence in 2023, a Swedish think tank said Monday. We have not seen nuclear weapons playing such a prominent role in international relations since the Cold War, said Wilfred Wan, director of the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute's Weapons of Mass Destruction program. Earlier this month, Russia and its ally Belarus launched a second stage of drills intended to train their troops in tactical nuclear weapons, part of the Kremlin's effort to discourage the West from ramping up support from Ukraine. In a separate report, the International Campaign to Abolish Nuclear Weapons, ICAN, that will never happen, said the 9 nuclear-armed states spent combined of total of $91.4 billion on their arsenals in 2023. Those are official numbers. The real number is probably higher. Equivalent to $2,898 per second. The Geneva-based coalition of disarmament activists won the Nobel Prize in 2017. It didn't work. The group said the figure showed $10.7 billion increase in global spending on nuclear weapons in 2023 compared to 2022, with the United States accounting for 80% of that increase. The US share of total spending, $51.5 billion, is more than all the other nuclear-armed countries put together. There has been notable upward trend in the amount of money devoted to developing these most inhumane and destructive weapons over the past 5 years, said Alicia Sanders-Zachary, Policy and Research Coordination with ICAN. The next biggest spender was China at $11.8 billion, she said, with Russia spending the third largest amount at $8.3 billion. All this money is not improving the global security. In fact, it is threatening people wherever they live, Sanders-Zachary said. CIPRI estimates that some 2.1k of the developed warheads were kept safe in a state of high operational alert on ballistic missiles, and nearly all belong to Russia or the USA. However, it said that China is also believed to have some warheads on high operational alert for the first time. Regrettably, we continue to see a year-on-year increases in the number of operational nuclear warheads, said Dan Smith, CIPRI's director. He added that the trend will likely accelerate in the coming years and is extremely concerning indeed. Russia and the United States have together almost 90% of all nuclear weapons, CIPRI said. The sizes of their military stockpile seem to have remained relatively stable in 2023, although Russia is estimated to have deployed around 36 more warheads with the operational forces then in January 2023, the watchdog added. In the CIPRI Yearbook 2024, the Institute said the transparency regarding nuclear forces has declined in both countries. In the wake of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, and debates around nuclear sharing arrangements have increased in importance. Washington suspended its bilateral strategic stability dialogue with Russia, and last year, Moscow announced that it was suspending its participation in the New START nuclear treaty. Of the total global inventory, an estimated 12,121 warheads in January, about 9.5K were in military stockpiles for potential use. An estimated 3.9K of those warheads were deployed with missiles and aircraft, which is 60 more than in January 2023, and the rest were in central storage. In Asia, India, Pakistan, and North Korea are all pursuing the capability to deploy multiple warheads on ballistic missiles. The Institute said the United States, Russia, France, UK, and China already have that capacity, enabling a rapid potential increase in deployed warheads, as well as the possibility for nuclear-armed countries to threaten the destruction of significantly more targets. CIPRI says that all estimates were approximate, and the Institute revises its nuclear forces data each year based on new information and updates to area assessments. The comments do not work. Yes, this is very worrying. The spending on the nuclear weapons, obviously this can cause a massive tragedy if somebody actually pulls the trigger. And the world is definitely heading into a very uncertain times. And usually in those uncertain times, somebody will sooner or later pull the trigger. Hopefully it won't happen today, however the chances are pretty slim that the peace will prevail, even though the peace is already an illusion. This planet is in a lot of conflicts. You are just not paying attention. Besides Russia and Israel, there's a lot of conflicts going on. So, I mean, we have not been stable for a long while. There's always some war going on, or conflict, or civil war, or coup d'etat. So moving on, we got Macron calling snap elections could leave France in chaos. Sarkozy wants. I'm not going to read this. My throat is already a bit tired. I know I've been only speaking for like 1 hour and some minutes. However, I'm not feeling very good today, so even though the weather is actually very nice. Macron called for the elections, which is, in my opinion, a good move. It is a logical move, and he should have done this earlier. Politically speaking, this was a blunder for him because his party already trailed a lot of percentage of voters, and he should have called the elections much sooner. And this is problem with the modern politicians, that they just wait and hope that things will somehow work in their advantage. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't, and their votes go to the other parties, and a good portion of the Macron voters went to the RN, the right-wing party, which is something that the Macron and the left-wing are not very happy about. It's going to be interesting, the elections in France, for sure. I'm gonna make sure to watch it closely. We'll see what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take a close look on the polls that will be coming up. So far, the RN has the most votes. However, I don't think it's enough for the majority. I don't think it's enough for the supermajority, and they would need somebody to rule with them. Probably the Republicans, although they are very incompetent. Even though they would rule, it would probably hurt them in the long run, politically speaking. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about the French election sooner. However, I just don't want to talk today. We have our final article, and after that, we're gonna go on the Twitter bazaar and some gaming news, and afterwards, I'm gonna call it quits. LGBT soldiers in Ukraine hope their service is changing attitudes as they rally for legal rights. Oh yes, LGBT rights in Ukraine are they are not the best. The Ukraine is definitely not a very progressive country in that way. And a lot of people do not talk about this. They ignore that the Ukraine actually does not really like gays, or the politicians at least. Click on the literature. LGBTQ soldiers in Ukraine hope their service is changing attitudes as they are for legal rights. Vegan. Kiev, several hundred LGBTQ Ukrainian servicemen and their supporters marched in central Kiev Sunday to demand more rights and highlight their service to their country and its war with Russia. The service members, many wearing rainbow and unicorn patches on their uniform, called on the government to grant them official partnership rights. They described the event as a pride march, but it did not have the celebratory atmosphere of peacetime events and took place in the rain and under a heavy police guard amid threats from counter-protesters. Again, as I said, a lot of people do not like gays in Ukraine. And a lot of politicians. The role of LGBTQ members in the military has been credited with shifting public attitudes towards the same-sex partnerships in the socially conservative country. We are ordinary people who are fighting on equal footing with everyone else but deprived of the rights that other people have. Dmitry Pavlov, an army soldier who used to cane to work, told the Associated Press. The campaigners are seeking legal reforms to allow people in same-sex partnership to take medical decisions for wounded soldiers and bury victims of the war that extended across Ukraine for more than 2 years. They argue that an improvement in gay rights would create a further distinction between Ukraine and Russia, where LGBTQ rights are severely restricted. Staff from the US Embassy and several European embassies attended the Pride rally. The organizers have faced difficulties in organizing the rally. City authorities turned down the petition to allow it to be held at the metro station, and it was condemned by one of the main branches of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church. This action is part of the left-wing radical political movement and is aimed at imposing a political ideology and also aimed at destroying the institution of the family and weakening the Ukrainian society in the conditions of war and repelling Russian aggression, the church said in statement. Oh my god. I'm gonna take a sip of I'm gonna sip of water from this. The church. Left-wing radical political movement. Same-sex marriages. You really cannot make this shit up. Religion and politics should never ever mix. Period. Like people, like these religious cretins cry about same-sex marriages. Like, why the fuck do you care? If you do not want to marry a guy, then do not. Then you won't. Like, this is a choice for people who want same-sex marriages. Like, why do you care? Like, it's not influencing you in any way of any aspect of your life. Yet you have to be an annoying bitch. Police set up cordons in central Kiev to keep the marchers clear of counter-demonstration, ushering protesters into a central metro station at the end of the event. Protesters in the counter-demonstration, some wearing face masks and carrying anti-gay signs, marched to a memorial for fallen soldiers in the center of the city. An injured soldier in Kiev for physical therapy said he attended the counter rally out of concern that divisive societal issues should not be raised during the war. I disagree. During the war, you should do your absolute best to bring this nation together and to fix the mistakes that you did not fix in the last decades. I came here because I think it's not the right time for LGBTQ activism, said the soldier who asked to be identified by his call sign Archie. We need to strengthen our country. Both those on the LGBTQ and the counter-protest took the opportunity to demand that foreign countries come to Ukraine's aid in its war with Russia, chanting "Arm Ukraine now." Dmytro Zhinias in Kiev, Ukraine contributed. Oh, I dare to disagree. I think this is a good time to bring out those issues, and I'm not sarcastic or anything. Like, Ukraine has been very backwards on the rights for the same-sex marriages, and I see no point why it shouldn't be. Why they should not have same-sex marriages. I just do not see any reasonable point why this should be illegal. A complete nonsense, in my opinion. Like, it's same-sex marriages. Like, if you do not like it, then you don't do it. Like, it doesn't affect you in any way. People here will fucking care about it. Like, that we're gonna get in fucking Armageddon. Fucking the end of the day. The apocalypse. The 13 dildo riders of fucking hell. Stupid. Incredible stupid. And we made it. We actually made it. We made it to the end. And now we have Twitter Bizarre. Yippee. Yes. This was like a very exhausting stream, actually. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it much today. But hey, these days happened. And it was even nice weather, so I'm not quite sure why I was just so dead and I didn't have much commentary to add on, but hey, it happens. We still made we still made it to a lot of articles, and I will be able to make at least some content from it, so should be fine. And we're gonna get the Twitter Bizarre and maybe some videos on the gaming news. So moving on, I'm gonna check the chat if something new actually. It wasn't. I did not change the scene. I instead muted myself for some reason. Okay. Okay, without further ado, let's move on. Let's get straight into the action. Okay. we got a. I'm gonna take a good seat. The latest thing in a fan rivalry, breaking baguettes in front of bemused Frenchmen. Yesterday, the Albanian fans were doing the similar with spaghetti to the Italians. What do you break in front of the English? That's a very good question. Is there anything that British really like, really defensive, that are really defensive about? Not really, because not really. I mean, their corner is still a bit better than the Scottish. However, I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna mute the music now. And we're gonna watch this together. So, what do you break in front of the video? Okay, this is definitely an interesting question for the video. What would you break? Alright, let's watch this without further ado. Only 25 seconds, so it's not that bad. Yeah, you're not going to be able to hear it on the video because I always mute the bots for copyright reasons. However, yeah, this was as cringe as this was actually more cringe, and it was a bit of an e-rape actually. Like what to say? Basement of food. That's the first thing. Even to the Albanian fans, like, come on, like, you waste fucking pasta, like, football fans, I guess. I mean, I know there are lots of stereotypes about the football fans, and this is definitely one of the confirmation that they are just a little bit special. You could see that these girls were definitely very, were thinking like, yeah, this was very funny from their reactions. I don't know what to say about this. Like, oh my, this is actually an ironic. This is so fucking cringe. And why do you break the food, for fuck's sake? I mean, you're never ever gonna get such a ranked into, such a good ranked partner, that's for sure, bro. Alright, wait, let's not be mean. Anyone else seeing this being a bit of an attention seek by a couple of Onlyfans accounts? I mean, they didn't show any of their Onlyfans accounts here, so... Oh, wait. Oh my god, it's actually... It was okay. It was written in the stars. As and out till I die. I'm finally on Only. It was written in the stars, alright. Of course. So, okay, this explains a lot of things. I mean, then okay, let's be charitable towards these girls. I mean, the Albanians beat them to it, alright, with their spaghetti. So let's not be mean towards the girls. Because I mean, it wasn't their idea to just waste this food. Okay, I'm gonna check the reactions of the French, and the French are like, okay. It's like they were like just don't make any reactions. Just don't make any reactions, and maybe they won't put that in the video. They put them in the video, but I mean, props to them though for like being this chill and just like, okay, who fucking cares? Chocolate coins to symbolize all the billions we wasted on bricks. Oh yes, that is a good point though. Dumping tea, that's, yes. Oh yeah, I forgot about that tea, of course. Alright, so yeah. What do you break in front of English? You break tea bags. Okay, that's a good one. I shouldn't laugh on my own choice, right? That's very unprofessional. But I was laughing at this guy actually. Dumping tea into the harbor. Oh wait, we already did. Alright, they are very spicy. Oh. No. Pretty girls, but to throw food to the ground and waste it is highly unattractive. Wait, what the fuck is this? Ah! A furry. Yeah, that was a furry. Sorry about that. So you have to say that was actually a furry account or whatever that is. Blah. Sorry. Okay, moving on. So we don't see any more furries, hopefully. Okay, we have a little bit of a celebrity news. Justin Timberlake was arrested for reportedly driving while intoxicated via Associated Press. I did not find an article, or I could not bother myself to find an article, but this is definitely... This is always funny when somebody famous gets arrested for driving drunk or intoxicated. Not cool at all. Driving under the influence is a straight up risk to everyone on the road. Hope he learned from this one. Okay, that's very mild. When your career needs public boost and you've already used up all your goodwill, perhaps, who knows. That's a good point. With all his money, couldn't he afford to hire a driver? And it would be much better for him to actually, give his money to somebody actually, to a driver instead of fucking bartenders, buying some fucking expensive alcohol. Bye. So Justin Timberlake drunk, not really bizarre, but I mean, it's kind of a bizarre, obvious when celebrity does this. We got Lex Friedman. I'm not sure why I put it here. Oh yeah, I remember. I put it here because this is going to be on my title that Lex Friedman is very interested in holes. This is a hole on Mars, recently photographed by the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. It's a pit crater that possibly opens into a larger cave that could provide a shelter for human astronauts or for alien life. That would be very cool to explore. So yeah, you can see a part of my title. Lex Friedman is very interested in holes. He is very mature from me, I know. But I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, it's not a good idea. Okay, that's a good one. Check out the inner rim. Why does it look like a lake of black liquid? It could be a hole that a giant alien space tarantula lives in. So you first. That's interesting. Temperature and radiation protection from Mother Mars. I mean, yes, Mars is radioactive a bit, since its atmosphere is nowhere near as protective as our Earth's. But yeah, we got Lex Friedman being interested in holes. Again, this is very short. Like, I'm not gonna make any jokes about it or anything like that. It's very impolite to laugh at your own jokes. Oh, we got Beard Meets Food. I do watch his videos sometimes. His eating videos, definitely an entertainment. Yeah. Bad part artist. I'm not. I think it is his. Yeah, I think it's his own account. I'm not quite sure. I mean, 84k followers. I don't know. I hope it is. Hope it's not wrong, but hey. Not sure my reply was robust enough. Drink Prime. Mr. Beard. Your food challenges are next level. Emoji, emoji. You know what's great for washing it all down? Prime. Emoji. Let us know your address plus phone number so we can send some Prime hydration and energy your way. Emoji. I'd rather drink my grand's piss. Oof. Oof. Oh, very spicy. Wait, I did like it though. Where's my like? I demand my like. Oh, here it is. It is. I liked it. Very good. Seems a bit hostile. We do not listen to the dates. Yes, like energetic drinks are not good for your body, by the way. You should know that. Like Prime or Monster or any other energetic brands, I do not know many. I never drink energetic drinks. The closest thing I drink to the energetic drinks was Coca-Cola. And I do not miss it because I actually tasted once or twice, but it was very disgusting. Bleh. It was bleh. I mean, I definitely can see his point of view. So we have, next up we get delusional takes. Did you know that 0% of the R words that have ever been committed in the history of the world are caused by women and girls? Amazing, right? Emoji. I'm not sure why he hit this, because we can see Dr. Jessica Taylor, we can see this, but I'm gonna put the GIF. I'm gonna put the starter GIF over this. That's for sure. Yes, women also commit the R words. You'd be surprised as they commit, and definitely in quite a bit of numbers. Not near as much as men. However, they also this thing about women R words is that they put a psychological pressure on their victims, which makes it harder for them to actually admit, because in this society, which is pretty masculine, let's be completely honest about it, it's quite masculine. And even if it wasn't masculine, like people are very embarrassed to admit they were actually raped, or fucker said the word, whatever. That they were avoided by a woman or sexually assaulted, or they were just inappropriately approached by women, because they live in the fear that people will actually make fun of them and just bully them for it, which is very sad. Because I mean, women R words are definitely more prominent in the psychological aspects, and it is very bad if the male victims cannot actually, talk about that, if somebody actually, harass them or anything like this, actually. So yeah, this is definitely a issue that should be addressed. I mean, yeah, this is a big facepalm moment, and I'm gonna put the GIF. I'm gonna put it in. Posts 1,000 headliners of female teachers are avoiding their male students in recent years. Internet search, teacher arrested. Guys, don't come. That is a very stupid comment to make. No, they are scared for a good. Yeah, they are scared for it. Like there's a big difference between if you actually bang your teacher willingly, if she like goes to and say, "Oh yeah, hey, wanna fuck," and you're like, "Sure," or if she actually approaches you, starts touching you, and parts of your body makes you feel uncomfortable, but either you tell it, which if you are brave, but she still doesn't stop, or you don't tell because you're too scared. Maybe she already has some sort of psychological influence over you, and then you commit a sexual act you did not consent to, and you do not want to do. However, this is a very stupid comment that guys don't complain. Like they do not complain because they would be laughed at and they would be bullied. That's the reason why so many of them just keep quiet. So yeah. Yeah, there's an example. Uh, this is just this is just unironically stupid. Like I don't know, like what the fuck is this example? Like, oh, I'm not gonna even comment on this. Like, what the fuck, bro? Okay, I'm gonna correct it. Bro. The women can be Arabs. Lol, like saying, or like saying gorillas can be Arabs. I mean, as far as I know, the gorillas also have dicks, so theoretically they could, sneak up on someone and do some unspeakable acts to your booty hole. Moving on. Okay, this. Sorry, I mean, by the way, very stupid. And I hope this was a parody. Again, as I always said, I hope these are parodies and just somebody just doing it either for the clicks or for the parody. Otherwise, I mean, my hope in humanity is at zero almost. I mean, it's not like it would harm it that much. We got another one. Oh yeah. The Acolyte's 15% audience score is embarrassing for the audience scorers. The Acolyte isn't ruining Star Wars. You are. Please, bro. The Acolyte is good, bro. You are all wrong, bro. You're ruining Star Wars, bro. Lesbian bitches made Anakin, bro. That's amazing, bro. You need to like it, bro. Please like it, bro. Don't be a bigot, bro. I have not watched The Acolyte. However, I know it is very, very controversial. So, I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it eventually when I want to ruin my mental health. But I mean, the people I watch, most of them just say it's stupid. It's very dumb. It's very bad. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, you have a lot of channels that focus on reviewing the TV series, movies, and etc. So I don't think I have to add anything to it. I now feel Lucas wasn't too harsh when he said he held Star Wars to white. Oh. Misguided choices getting a pay to love it, audience hated, studio blames audience shrinks. The Star Wars Holiday Special. I have no idea what it. Okay, I might actually watch it for the memes. Okay. And the last Twitter bizarre, I have a sad news for you, but the pool is closed. The pool will be once again closed. Abo Hotel Origins tomorrow, which is today, and which is going to be several days for you actually. So this will not be actually, a fresh news, but whatever. Let's watch it. Oh yeah, it is still here. Oh yeah, you know what this means. Oh yeah, tomorrow, June 18th, the pool is closed. The pool is going to be closed for a long, long while now. They found AIDS in it. I wish you could hear it actually in the video because it has a very banger music to it, background music to it. But yeah, Habbo Hotel Origins tomorrow, which is today, which is many days yesterdays for you. And yes, people are very unoriginal. So yeah, I mean, Habbo Hotel, the pool will be closed once again. So yeah, don't forget to play it. And we are to our gaming news. So I'm gonna show you what the next article is going to be. We have 5 more articles to go to. And then we're gonna cut this. And I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna. Oh no, I'm not gonna take a nap because I still have to watch the Euros. I'm gonna actually check how the Turks are doing. I'm sure this went very well. So far it's 1-1. The Turks scored first, so I got that correct. It's 1-1, so it might actually be 2-1 win for Turkey. We'll see. And afterwards, we're gonna get the big ones, arguably. I mean, Czech Republic. I mean, it's a good country. However, in the last 2 meetings, Portugal beat them 2-0 and then 4-0. So we'll see how they're gonna perform. I mean, if the Czechs manage to draw with the Portugal, then they're probably gonna beat the Turks and the Georgia as well. If they lose horribly to the Portuguese, then it's always possible that they might actually flop and lose the second place, because I mean they are favorites for the second place. We'll see. So how long is Elden Ring Shadow of the Earth? Stay tuned and I'll be right back. The show must go on. There we go. Let us finish this so we can all live our lives and so I can actually prepare myself for the football match, as well as do some other things. How long is the Elden Ring Shadow of the Earth 3? 3 different IGN people have finished it in 3 very different time, okay? So we're gonna get our own IGN benchmark. That's considering if they actually fought all the bosses and explored everything. I know I could. The long-awaited DLC for Elden Ring, Shadow of the Earth, is finally almost here. For the past few weeks, several IGN staffers has taken up the sword to conquer the Film Software's latest tales and to come out the opposite side, change forever. The DLC is doing massive, the bosses are really freaking hard, and the secrets are numerous. That said, we've come together to share how long it's taken us to beat the Shadow of the Earth 3. How long is the Elden Ring Shadow of the Earth 3? Our fastest players finish the DLC in about 25 hours. Our slowest player finished the DLC in about 32 hours. Huh. Hmm. Okay. Given the open nature of the Elden Ring, it's very easy to get sidetracked while exploring the massive new world, but some bosses could take richer hours to beat. Therefore, playtimes will surely vary. If you finish the DLC, come back and submit your time to how long to beat to see how your time compares. Okay, they're gonna tell us about. Okay. Okay, so they didn't even kill all the bosses, probably. So this basically tells you nothing. Uh, at that time, I had actually only beaten 6 out of the 10 big bosses that drop remembrances when you kill them. Since then, I've beaten 2 more, and I'm still on the hunt for the final 2. So neither of them actually beat it. They yes, they beat the final boss, however, they did not beat all the bosses, so this is basically telling you absolutely nothing. This is absolute bogus then. Okay, so IGN managed to disappoint us, even though my expectations were very low. Uh, okay. Hmm. There are not many comments here, unfortunately. I thought this would make this into a video. I'm not quite convinced now. I'll try to make this. I'm gonna try to talk as much as possible. So basically, IGN sent like 3 people to complete the DLC, which they did. However, they didn't really complete it because like it's a DLC, whole new content, and yes, you theoretically you finished this. You finished the main line. However, you did not kill all the bosses, which is basically what the Dark Souls and all the Soulsborne are about. Like killing the bosses. That is the main objective. If you did not kill all the bosses, then you did not finish the game in my eyes. So 25 hours to beat like 6 out of 10 bosses or however there are. I would assume there will be like 10 main bosses and probably a lot of mini bosses. I don't know. I have not played Elden Ring. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Depends on many factors actually. So this is this is not telling us anything. This is like that's very nice. So you say, oh yeah, so it's gonna take me 25 hours to beat it, maybe even probably even faster because it's IGN, and then you find that okay, they actually IGN actually didn't even beat all the bosses. They probably didn't even beat all the new mini bosses. So basically, this tells you jack shit. GG IGN. I did not have any expectations, and yet I was disappointed. So, oh well. Moving on, we got news about Paradox. Paradox shuts down Tectonic after canceling Live by You. Okay, I thought this was actually about City Skylines for a minute since I saw the headline. We are deeply grateful for their hard work in trying to make Paradox into a new genre. Give me a second. You heard that. You absolutely heard that. Following the cancellation of the SlimStyle Live Sim, the SimStyles Live Sim Live by You, Paradox has now shut down its developer. Swedish games company Paradox backs known for Crusader Kings, Cities Skylines, and Stellaris. I would argue they are more known for their Europa Universalis, Hearts of Iron, and the Victoria series, but okay. You do not like strategic games, I completely agree. Not all of us has a big brain capacity. That was a joke. Okay, this is about some random sim style game. I'm not interested in it. However, I'm gonna read it for you at least, alright? Swedish games companies, said it had decided to cease further operation in Bear Creek, California, based Tectonic in a move that affects studio's 24 staff. This is difficult and drastic news for our colleagues at Tectonic, who have worked hard on Live by Use early accessories, Frederick West, CEO of Paradox Interactive, said. Sadly, with cancellation of their sole project, we have to take the tough decision to close down the studio. We are deeply grateful for their hard work in trying to take Paradox into a new game genre. Tectonic had worked on Live by You since 2019. It's the latest in a string of recent failures from Paradox, which Wester said it will spark an evaluation on how the company manages its project. We have a very solid financial proposition and a strong core games portfolio, which keeps us confident about our future, Wester insisted. This is difficult and drastic news for our colleagues at Tectonic. Last year's disaster series of City Skylines 2, indeed that was a major disaster. I'm not quite sure why they made a sequel, because the first entry was completely okay. The City Skylines 1 was a good game, very fun game. It had a lot of content. I think it also had community content, like mods. I remember when it released, like the top mod was a Soviet clinic. So something that was very funny. Which developer calls order is still working to address, was just one title that hit Paradox bottom line as well as its reputation. In October 2023, Paradox called the Lamp Writers Week a big disappointment, as it was forced to record a 22 million write-down. Paradox has also delayed Geosim Prison Architect 2. Prison Architect 1 was a great game, very fun game. A number of times, that's very boring. The latest to this September, after the discovery of the unexpected issues occurring two of them, the Paradox published The Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Also, they also make this game, I see. This franchise has endured a trouble development too, although the release date now looks in sight. The closure of Tectonic is the latest in a string of studio closures and layoffs that have hit the video game industry hard in recent years. Thousands of staff have been impacted by the cuts right across the industry, with layoffs at the likes of Microsoft, Sony, and Embracer, to name a few. Just this week, Embracer shut down Pieces Interactive after Alone in the Dark failed to meet sales expectations. So yes, the Paradox Interactive is falling. Even their new DLCs to Hearts of Iron and such are pretty bad. A lot of content creators who's been playing Hearts of Iron for many years are even speaking against it, that it was pretty bad, pretty meh. And it also was kind of trying to promote the DLC by artificially making the nations in South America, which was the DLC centered about overpowered so people would actually buy it. Just like MOBAs do it with new heroes, they made them a little bit stronger than they should be so people actually buy it. Because they see a easy rank up there. Hmm. 13 comments. I had absolutely no idea that there was a Sims competitor being made. I also didn't have. I remember I saw a Korean sim or a Japanese sim. Otherwise, I also do not know anything about it. I'm not quite sure here. It probably had some issues because it probably did not perform in the early access as they envisioned, so they probably cut it short. I mean, sure, a competitor for Sims is definitely something that the gaming industry would appreciate. However, I guess it flopped. It just wasn't good enough. Who knows? Yep. Yep, that's spot on. About it. That's absolutely spot on. The gamers have been in really bad shape for them to not try to salvage the 5 years of work. I feel bad for them. Most people in Berkeley, California don't want to work or be something other than an activist. Developers are actually putting their heart and soul into something. I'm not quite sure if I understand this comment, but okay. I don't know. It was an early access, so it probably got a very bad reception, so that's why they pulled the plug. Next up, we got Uncharted. So we got Uncharted 2 movie official in development at Sony. Setting sail on another adventure, Sony has confirmed Uncharted 2 is official in development, though details about the movie sequel are scarce. As reported by Variety, Sony Pictures executive Stephen Odell confirmed news during Sony presentation at 2024. Cine Europe trade showed that he listed the sequel to the Tom Holland starring Uncharted film adaptation as one of the studio's upcoming projects, confirming that the movie is officially moving forward. An Uncharted follow-up has been discussed for a while, but this is the first time Sony has acknowledged it is happening. The first movie started growth with a 139 million global box office opening weekend in 2022, leading Sony Pictures chairman and CEO Tom Ruffman to call Uncharted a new hit movie franchise for the company. Producer Charles Rowan confirmed last year that the ship hadn't sailed on the sequel and that he was definitely looking to make another Uncharted movie, continuing the adventures of Nathan Drake and Victor Sullivan. Mark Wahlberg later revealed that Uncharted 2 had a script lined up and ready to go, but there has been no confirmation of a cast. Wahlberg let slip in February of this year that he got told to start growing a mustache in preparation for his role as a Sully. I just got called today that they got a script and he shared, adding that they said, start growing your mustache, it's gonna take a while. Okay. The first Uncharted movie acted more as a prequel to the Naughty Dog action-adventure series instead of direct adaptation. However, Wahlberg showed up in the movie post-credit scene with a mustache, signaling that the cinematic adventures will transition into the period in which the video games take place. Uncharted had an infamously troubled road to release, but the sequel looks to be finally getting off the road. Okay, I don't know anything about this, so I have not watched the Uncharted movie actually. I would have enjoyed this movie a lot more if it was called anything but Uncharted. That was a Nate and Sully. That was Peter Parker and Marky Mark. Not a bad action movie, just not the personalities I've grown familiar with. The Nathan Fillion short film was a primer and I've accepted the series starting from well into his career Drake much better than Spider Drake. Again, I have not watched the movie, so I cannot add my 2 cents. I have not watched the first movie, so there you go. The first one was watchable, better than the Warcraft and Assassin's Creed movie, but that's not saying much. I couldn't finish the first one. I have no desire to go. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So again, Uncharted 2 movie being in works. I have not watched the first movie, so I don't really have much to say about this. Maybe I'm gonna watch it. Anyways, moving on. We got news about Bethesda. We actually have 2 news about Bethesda. Oh yeah. Todd Howard rules out Fallout 1 and 2 remakes. I'd like people to experience the way it was. Okay, relatively fair point. I mean, it could definitely. I mean, you could always, redo the graphics a bit. That wouldn't be that bad. Amid the increasing popularity of the Fallout franchise, some fans have called on Bethesda to make the much loved first 2 games in this series. But according to Bethesda Game Studio chief Todd Howard, that's not in the cards. In an interview with the YouTube channel Mr. Matty Price, Howard said some of the charm of Fallout 1 and 2 has to do with the fact they remain firmly rooted in the old school PC role-playing game era of the mid to late 90s. So he's happy to leave them where they are while ensuring they run well. They forgot to include the R, where the while is not erased. The main priority for us is to make sure they're available and can still play them, how it says. So on the PC, obviously, they are there for people to go and to get and play, and making sure they run okay. As far as beyond that, we've talked about it, but our priorities in terms of, oh, hey, let's go do Death Boy and make certain things work, that haven't been in those areas. So again, priority is, hey, can people load it up and play? Basically, they are scared they would mess it up. And I could imagine those probably were the longest games. I don't know, I've never played Fallout 1 or 2. I'm not quite sure how long they are, but they would probably have to add new content, and he knows they would mess it. He knows they would mess it up. Alright, he absolutely knows that. Pick a winner: Fallout New Vegas, Fallout Shelter. You compare Fallout New Vegas. You dare to compare Fallout New Vegas to Fallout Shelter, a mobile game. Okay. Okay, people were not play this. Yeah, like people started to play Fallout since Fallout Day. Like you can see it. Somehow, you are kidding me now. Or you are kidding me. How? Okay, I don't. This Tails. I say Tails. I mean, and I only could. This game is better than this. I'm telling it right now. This game should be above this. Period. I said it. We move on. Bethesda doesn't feel the need to rush Fallout 5 in the wake of TV show success. Most likely it's still going to be a complete flop. Even the Fallout 4 was very weak. Fallout 4 was pretty meh, honestly. I did not like the gunplay at all. Just boring, very, very boring, and it kind of kept me off. I tried to make a melee build, however, it never got off the work. So that's another thing. I just wasn't able to make a good melee build. And sure, I could probably Google something broken. However, I just wanted to experience it the first feel, and it simply did not was good. I spent like 25 hours there, so I'm gonna give it that. I definitely had some fun playing the quests and shit. However, I just did not enjoy it overall much. The Bethesda software had that Howard knows fans are looking forward to Fallout 5, especially in the wake of the Prime Video show success, but he isn't interested in rushing it out of the door. Howard opened up about the future of the hit post-apocalyptic RPG series during an interview with YouTube creator OK. He says Bethesda spends a lot of time plotting out how to handle the direction of its franchises for other Fallout games in the future, I obviously can't talk about those right now, but I would say sort of rush into them, or we kind of need to get that stuff out that is different than we are doing in 76. We don't feel like we need to rush any of that. He said Fallout TV shows fills a certain niche in terms of the franchise and storytelling. I still don't know about by they are trying to fix 76. They'll never fix it. It will never be 16 times the detail. I mean, it's probably a bit playable than it once used to be, than it once was. However, it's still not saying much. Like, I'm never gonna forget the way they released that D76. I never played it. I saw it, however. I saw the disaster. It was like that. If you remained a Bethesda fans afterwards, like you must have been very, very blind to the red flags you just saw. Like, but Fallout 4 was a red flag. A lot of us ignored, me included. And Fallout 76 was the red flag you should have probably seen. You should have seen definitely. And Starfield, Starfield was the result of for the people who did not see the red flag. I was actually excited about this Starfield. Unfortunately, as I hear, the game is once again very boring. I heard the gunplay is also not good and it's pretty meh. So you're probably gonna need to, install at least 100 mods to make it playable, and then 100 more to make it enjoyable. I'm gonna take a sip of water.